Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing with you all the ways I like to use my iPad and some of my most used apps. I have the iPad Pro in 12.9 inch along with the Apple Pencil, and I think it's a super versatile device and I use it pretty much every day. If you're looking to get more use out of your iPad, or perhaps you're thinking about getting an iPad, then hopefully this video will give you some more ideas. I love the iPad for drawing and my favorite app is Procreate. This is what I use to draw all of my digital stickers, and if you're interested in getting into digital art, I think the iPad and Apple Pencil are perfect for it. I also use Procreate to design some of my YouTube thumbnails. For a fun and relaxing activity, I use my iPad for coloring in, and it's great because I don't have to worry about going over the lines, making a mistake, or choosing the wrong color. I like to customize my iPad home screen, and there's a variety of useful widgets to display all kinds of information, as well as photos and images. I have interactive widgets on the home screen and lock screen for things like my reminders, daily schedule, and habits. I also use these clock apps, which I can display as a large widget or in full screen mode on my desk. I use my digital planner inside an app like Noteful or GoodNotes, and I love that you can still handwrite, but you have all the benefits of it being digital, like being able to make changes easily, add stickers and photos, and being able to use every color pen. I design and make all my planners myself, and my channel is about digital planning, so make sure to subscribe if you're interested. If you don't want to handwrite, there's also other apps where you can create to-do lists, track your habits, and make a daily schedule. I prefer reading on my Kindle, especially because my iPad is huge, but for days when I don't want to carry them both, I can read on my iPad using apps like Kindle or Apple Books. Depending on your local library, you can also borrow ebooks, audiobooks, and magazines through Libby app, which is super convenient. I also keep a reading journal where I track my reading, review the books I've read, and write down my thoughts and favorite quotes. For note-taking, I use my digital notebook inside Noteful or GoodNotes. I love the iPad's handwriting to text feature, and I use this along with custom fonts to make aesthetic notes. It's easy to add images and diagrams, and if you're a student, you can write over lecture slides and past exam papers without having to print anything out. I made an entire iPad guide for students, so check that video out if you're interested. I watch things on my iPad, and picture-in-picture mode lets me watch Netflix in a floating window at the same time whilst I'm doing something else, like if I'm digital planning or journaling inside a different app. I have this calculator app, and I use it in a floating window when I'm multitasking with other documents. There's different color schemes and options for a basic or scientific calculator. I use GoodNotes for scanning documents, and it automatically brightens and tidies up the scan, which is super useful. For brainstorming, I use Freeform, which is essentially an infinite canvas, and I can add handwritten notes, images, videos, and files, and I never have to worry about running out of space. I also have a variety of different types of timers, such as for studying or for meditation, and Pomodoro timers that help me to focus for a block of time. I keep a digital journal, and I try to write down my thoughts and feelings, especially if I'm going through some new life experiences, such as traveling or moving to a new city. I also have a separate daily journal that has writing prompts for things like gratitude and self-reflection. I find journaling very therapeutic, and it always makes me feel better if I'm feeling stressed or a little bit down. I use my iPad for online therapy via video chat, and this brings us to our paid partnership with BetterHelp. I run the Happy Downloads shop together with my husband Dan, and this can be quite stressful at times. So we decided to try out therapy, and I'm so glad we did because it has been such a big help. I found my therapist through BetterHelp, and she has given me useful tools for handling difficult situations, such as how to communicate with each other in a more effective manner. To get started, you answer a few questions about your needs, and BetterHelp will connect you with a therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. From there, you can talk to them through text chat, phone, or video calls from the comfort of your own home. You can access a wide pool of therapists, so if your therapist isn't the right match, you can easily switch to somebody new at no additional charge. I love the scheduling flexibility, and BetterHelp can provide therapy at a more affordable price. So get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/happydownloads, and the link is also in the description. I listen to music and podcasts on my iPad when I'm working or doing chores around the house, and it's very convenient to play songs directly from the lock screen, or if I'm multitasking on my iPad, I can have it open in a floating window. The iPad isn't my main device for playing games, but I like that you can connect controllers like the Switch Joy-Cons using Bluetooth, and here I'm using it to play a rhythm game. I love creating these vision boards for helping me to visualize my goals, and I just do this in my digital planner. I look for inspirational images and quotes on the web, which I can then drag and drop onto my page. Check out my full video where I set up my planner and created this vision board if you're interested. I take all my photos and videos on my iPhone, and it's super easy to airdrop them over to my iPad, where I can edit them on the larger screen. I use Lightroom for photo editing, and here you can adjust the brightness, color, and saturation. There's also apps that allow you to remove the background from your photo and remove any unwanted objects. I edit most of my short videos on my phone using CapCut, and when I need a bigger screen, I edit these over on my iPad. There's also apps like LumaFusion that have more features if you need something more powerful. The iPad can be used as a second monitor for your MacBook or computer. You can drag things from one screen to the other, and this gives you extra screen space, which is useful, especially when you're multitasking. Using an app like GoodNotes, you can record audio from your lectures and meetings at the same time whilst taking notes, and the audio will play back alongside the notes. I track a variety of different things on my iPad, like my daily habits, mood, sleep, exercise, and nutrition. I do all of this in my digital planner, but there's also various apps that you can use instead. I use my iPad for web browsing, and I can save web pages into a quick note or turn it into a PDF document that I can annotate over. You can control smart home devices like lights and thermostats using HomeKit directly via widgets on your iPad home screen. And if you have misplaced your TV remote, there's also apps that you can use instead. Multitasking on the iPad is very convenient. The Stage Manager feature allows you to have up to 4 apps open at the same time. You can resize and reposition any of the windows and drag and drop objects like handwriting and images from one window to another. I use Google Sheets to keep track of my finances. I do also track some finances in my digital planner, but where I have a lot of transactions, I use Google Sheets because of the automatic calculations, and it can also summarize my data into useful graphs and charts. I like using my iPad for learning new skills because there's apps that help to make learning more fun and interactive. I can play games and take mini quizzes, and I can also create my own study flashcards using an app like GoodNotes. For learning languages, the iPad can also translate from a web page or even text that's inside a video. I have a digital recipe book, and I use an iPad stand to have it propped up when I'm cooking. I save my favorite recipes in here, and it's just a nice way to keep everything organized by category. I can also plan out my meals in here for every day of the week. This is another template I'm using inside Noteful app, similar to my digital planner, and if you want to learn how to plan or journal on your iPad, then check out my beginner's video, which will teach you everything you need to know. Give the video a thumbs up if you found it useful, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos. And thanks for watching!